Do not hire virtual assistants from online jobs or Upwork or Fiverr. Instead, work with a trusted agency such as VA Task. We're going to handle all the interviewing, all the vetting, all the actually making sure they know English, making sure they actually know what softwares to use. We handle all of that. Could you describe kind of what it was like before you started working with VA Tasks?
Yeah, I feel like I had an unfortunate experience before. I wouldn't even say unfortunate. I just was frustrated with when I did have a VA in the past because I felt like I was chasing them a lot. I didn't really know what they were doing. Like there was no structure. So, but I knew that I needed one. I was doing a ton of kind of like fulfillment or emails, admin tasks, and I knew that I needed to find one again, but I didn't want to go through that process of finding them because I felt, it takes me about 10, 15 minutes. I can do it. But then I did realize that I was losing a lot of time at the end of the week with those 10, 15 minutes that added up to, 70 minutes on one task. And so I feel like because I had an unfortunate experience in the past or a frustrating one, I was hesitant to go find one again because I didn't want to have to go through that. But then when we did connect and I realized that you take care of like all of, I would say the frustrating, challenging aspects of finding an admin, because I knew I needed one, but I kind of just was putting it on the back burner of like, I don't want to have to start that process. But the fact that you take care of not only building out the infrastructure, the SOPs and staffing them and interviewing them, that took away all the headache of me having to do that heavy lift.
You speak about some of the benefits of working with our company.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is I've brought back time that I thought I thought that I could handle, or that it was fine if it took me 10, 15 minutes for one task. But if I did that for, let's say, 3 tasks every single day, I was losing like 5, 10 hours a week of just the pure task time that it took, but also like my distraction of jumping between task to task. I didn't realize there was a lot of residue that was being until I worked with you guys. I didn't realize, wow, like my focus, even if it took me 10 minutes, not only would that be 70 minutes at the end of the week, my attention would then be, I would have to regroup. And so I feel like after, bringing on one of your team members and your client success manager, not only did she start, giving me time back, but now I've ramped her up to I've given her more responsibility, more tasks, and I'm able to scale my business. When we first started, I was at probably around like 5K months. And then the following month, it was our greatest revenue producing month. We did 24K in revenue. And I don't doubt that was a direct correlation with the fact that my focus could actually be on strategy and growing the business versus admin tasks that are important. But as the CEO, I want to value my time in actually moving the needle with that strategy versus doing admin fulfillment. So that is where I'd say was the biggest, where I've taken away the biggest value. And now, like I mentioned, she's growing into more and more like her role is we're giving her more responsibilities because she's been able to ramp up. We're ramping her up. So I'm saving even more time on top of that.
And then Lexi, could you kind of describe what it was like working with VA Task?
Yeah, I would say very, very seamless, like being able to, work with you, Ben, like not only very on top of communication, which I value a lot, because I value communication as well as time. And that's kind of those two together. I feel like, I felt that very quickly that you do as well. I mean, that's very that's kind of the theme I feel like with your company is accountability and being transparent with communication and time. And so that's where I feel like, I've appreciated our relationship the most, is just being able to have that like under promise and over deliver in terms of those aspects of communication.